smart24tv.com and YouTube at Smart24TV Space Live for more if at all you want to stream with us. And also do not forget to hit the subscription button. I'm Jerome Posok on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And in studio to definitely digest this particular issue, I have Mr. Emmanuel Alyao. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for welcoming me.
Okay.
I'm glad to be here with you. And I'm sure it's going to be a great discussion.
Yeah, and definitely I want us to first pick up from there. And what is the website in a broad view, from the basics?
All right. The website from the basics is a collection of documents that are displayed on the internet. A website is a collection of documents, and these documents are called web pages.
Okay.
So these web pages display information about someone's business, about someone's portfolio, about someone's whatever it is that you want to display on the internet. So they're all collected together in one place, and that's what makes it a website. So a collection of web pages that are linked together
makes it a website.
Makes it a website.
And let's head into the business perspective of it. How can someone actually start up with the website?
Well, now
because we want to see how can a business owner actually develop one.
Yes, a business owner, you have to approach a web developer, and then you come up with a plan. You have to have your business your business has to be in existence first of all, before you can actually think of having a website. So once your business is in place, you can approach a developer. And then you will tell the developer, I need a website to display information about my business. Now the website developer will come up with a structure where a welcome message will be displayed, the about you information, that is your vision, your mission, your goals and aims and objectives, and then where your products and services are going to be displayed, and then also where the contact information is going to be displayed. So once the website developer comes up with this structure, he will present it to the business owner. And then the business owner can go ahead and now tell the web developer, please go ahead and develop. Now the development process usually takes about from 2 weeks to a month to 3 months, even
Why is
6
that?
months.
Why?
Yeah, it depends on the resources that are going to be implemented on the website.
Okay.
Depends on you as the business owner. What do you want to be done on the website? If you want transactions to happen on the website, what are you going to, how the developer is going to implement that? That is what determines how long it takes for the website to be developed.
Because I've actually thought it is more, I actually had in my mentality, I thought it is just like you're opening up a Facebook account or an Instagram account or maybe a Twitter handle.
No. That is quite different. For a Facebook account, that is a platform that is set for anybody to register and open up any account. But with a website, there's a lot of technical issues involved. So that's why you need a developer. So once now, like we mentioned at the beginning, that a website is a collection of web pages. So a developer is going to come up with all these web pages together, and after coming up with all the web pages and putting the information there, he's going to have to host it. Now, when it comes to hosting, it means you're going to get space on the internet, and then you'll store these web pages there, these web pages that have your information. And then after hosting them, you will do something called domain name registration. That is giving a name to that particular website. So the name can be yourbusinessname.com, smart24.com. So that is a domain name. So it is hosted, and then a domain name is registered. So once that is done, then now the link can be given to the business owner.
And it becomes yours?
Yes.
I want to understand, who is the developer? Are these technicians or someone who has actually studied about website developing?
Definitely, the latter. It is somebody who has experience in developing a website, and maybe he could have studied it or could have practiced it. So that is who a developer is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the issue of the developing, don't you think if someone actually comes and develops for you does he remain with because I think with the website you have passwords there.
Yes.
Does this person have control over your website?
Now, usually what happens is when the website, the business owner is the intellectual property owner.
Okay.
Yes, the website belongs to the business owner. The developer is just doing his work of implementing your idea and bringing it to life. So, but the website is yours. So once the developer is done developing the website, they will hand over everything to you. But if you want them to continue maintaining and managing it for you, if you don't have any technical expertise of managing your website, you will have to maybe get into a deal with the developer so that they can continue maintaining it for you, monitoring it for you, implementing security so that the website can run as you want it to run. So once that is the process of development and it is launched, then it will have to go a bit further, whereby you will have to implement some kind of security on the website. Because when you launch a website, you cannot just put it out there and say this is a website, and you have to implement some kind of security. So usually the kind of security that is implemented is a security socket layer, which is called an SSL certificate. That is paid for annually. So once that's...
Because that is what I wanted to understand. Is a developer paid?
Yes.
Do you pay him once, or you continue giving him some money in form of maybe monthly?
Now, the payment for the development, you pay it once. For his work, his job of developing your website.
That depends on the terms and conditions between the two of you.
Yes. And now, for continuous payment, if you get into an agreement with him to maintain your website, then you can pay him per month. But like I mentioned, hosting and domain name registration, those ones you have to pay for them annually. Yes, the developer gets a hosting ground and a domain name registrar, because there are these companies out there that do those registration of domain. So there you'll have to be paying annually, as including the SSL certificate as well for your security of the website. And
I would want to understand, why would a businessman or anyone out there, a layman who's in Chikubo right now, need a website for his business? Well,
if you're a businessman out there, what you know that if you have a website, it increases your credibility. You know, it lets people know that you're serious. It creates a good first impression to your business, and it lets people know that this person who has a business is actually serious. So if I want to get anything or any kind of information from him, I can type this domain name, thebusinessname.com, then I can access the information. It creates a very good first impression. Then another thing is a website helps you in branding. You know, it clearly establishes who you are out there, because if you're online, it's easy for people to come and get you. You can display your logo, they can see your colors, they can see what your business is all about. Then the other thing is a website helps generate leads. You know, you stand a high chance of generating customers who are coming in, who want to know about your business. Maybe they can go into a search engine like Google, then they search about your business name. Yeah, that brings me, of course, to the next point, which is organic traffic. That is driving traffic back to your website. Using something called search engine optimization. You know, that's where you train search engines like Google to learn that when a phrase which relates to certain services in your business are typed on Google, Google will have to display your website, the results of your website on top, so that somebody can click and then they can find out about your business. And then also a website saves time, you know, because visitors, where somebody would have to give a call to you, they can actually just visit your website and find the information they want, and then they're able to help themselves out, which is very good for your business. And then that's where you can provide updates and announcements. You know, you can also do digital marketing by connecting it to Facebook, social media, which can also drive traffic back to your website.
Do you think it is quite a problem for these business people to actually open them up, these websites? Because I'm looking at a possibility of seeing that, is this the only way someone can tap into the digital space if you're a business owner?
I can say it's a legitimate way to tap into the digital space, because you cannot only rely on going onto Facebook, or because Facebook is a general platform for everyone. But if you're serious and you're a serious businessman, you will think of having a website which will help you to launch whatever it is that you want to get out to the people. Yes.
And if you're to look at, okay, now let me put it in this picture. This is a businessman. He's because of the situation that we are in, sometimes you're not going to be in town to work.
Yes.
You will have to be promoting, maybe if I told you in Chikubo, you're dealing with you're dealing with supplying, let me say, groceries.
Yes.
And how can this person actually achieve from which type of website can this person actually come up with?
When it comes to what you've described, that would be an e-commerce website, which can allow somebody to look at the goods that you're trying to sell, they can see the price at which you're selling them, and they can actually make an order. You know,
with the from the
website, and the order comes directly to you, and you know that so and so has made an order for this item, so I need to deliver it. And maybe you can even pay online. That's if you want. Yeah, so it is a payment online, or you can pay as you when somebody comes to you and then they give you the money.
That is where I want to now understand how safe is this. This is quite a big one, because the bigger question has always been, people are still thinking, I don't want to engage into the internet because there are a lot of hackers, a lot of fraudsters there.
Yes.
How can someone's businesses be safe, and how can these websites actually be safe for these business owners?
Okay, as we speak at the moment, when you compare a website and all the systems that exist at the moment, usually you can't say entirely that every system on this planet is 100% safe, but it's the level of security that you implement that can make that website secure. So some of the ways you can secure your business website, like I mentioned before, that security socket layer, which is an SSL certificate. You have to implement it, and that protects your transactions, it protects your information, it protects any kind of access onto your website, you know. So it helps you to have some level of security to protect your transactions or everything that's going on. Another way to secure your website is, you remember I talked about hosting, where you store all the information of the web pages. You have to host it with a secure server, you know. And when you go to a professional company like the one I have, they will advise you on the secure servers that are out there where you can host your website.
That is when you're developing?
Yes, that's when you're developing. So it's very important to get a developer who is experienced and who knows what he's doing, So, and then also another way of implementing security is you have to administer complex passwords to log into your website. You cannot just put something which is very simple, which is predictive, and somebody will
Because you see, the issue with passwords is quite funny. Why I've interacted with some of the businesses, and people who are actually also opening up like these accounts. Someone opens for you maybe an Instagram account or a Twitter handle, but when they know how to actually log you out. So that means with that website, because I would only understand the safety. This is why most of the business owners are very scared. You see, the people in downtown in Chikubo, these businessmen have a lot of money. And the reason as to why they hate engaging with banks, because they know banks are going to steal off their money through the bank charges and what have you. So with these websites, it is the same issue. Because what they know is we're having a very tricky generation. And someone will come out to actually open for you a website, and at the end of the day, they follow up everything that you do. At the end, when you lose it, they regain everything out of your website. So how do you think this can actually be possible? How can they actually safeguard this? Because I'm looking at it in a way that businesses are scared. Leave alone the fact that the youth are willing, because they're already engaging in this with the smartphone and the internet. But how can we encourage these people that these websites are safe for their business?
I think I will continue with what I was trying to say before.
It's okay.
Yeah, I was getting to the point where, like you just mentioned, that you have to implement something called a firewall on your website. Now, this one blocks out duplicate IP. It blocks out duplicate IP addresses. That is, let's say, somebody trying to access your website in a malicious way or forcefully.
What if they are cracked?
Yes.
The firewalls.
No, the firewalls are actually, if they are correctly implemented, it is nearly impossible to crack them. So it is one of the strongest ways to protect your website out there. It prevents, because usually they are, like for example, at our company, we had a client whose website was hacked. His website required somebody to create an account in order to use the platform. But somebody used a bot, an automatic program, which duplicates accounts, creates multiple accounts. So by the time
the implementer, or the other one's just hacking in?
Yes, the person was just hacking in. So by the time they came to us, the 40,000 accounts, duplicate accounts have been created.
With one same person?
Yes, by one same person. So, and we did some kind of investigation. We found there was no security, no SSL certificate. The passwords were very weak. It was not hosted on a secure server, and there was no firewall. So we had to implement a firewall and redo the website and then fully secure it. So one of the best ways to secure a website is implementing a firewall. And another way is to use a custom code. When I say custom code, these days it's very easy to create a website. They're using some things called content management system. That's where you find like WordPress, Drupal and stuff like that.
And we're quite having a number of people who claim they can actually open that up.
Yes. So these content management systems are somehow not very safe. So it's better to get somebody, an experienced programmer, who can sit down and write the code of your program from beginning of your website from beginning to end, so that they know what goes where and how it happens. Because when you use a content management system, it's very easy for somebody to know how things work in that content management system. So they will be able to steal your information, you know. And then another thing is to update plugins. Plugins are small programs that perform specific tasks on your website. So these small programs have to be constantly updated. That is why you need a web developer to always maintain and monitor the web security of your website. So that is some of the best ways you can be sure that there is a level of security on your website.
The only challenge is if someone is actually having a web developer to monitor. Can't I monitor it myself?
If you have the expertise, you can monitor it yourself. Or if you like, you can let the web developer to take you through some training on how you can monitor and maintain.
Because what I want to understand is most of the people want to cut off this extra person.
Yes.
You see, the idea of entrepreneurs is that they're always secretive in some way.
True.
Because if you have someone who is actually developing for you your website, then that means he or she knows what is going online regarding your business. So you will want to cut him off in any possible way.
Yes. Now, it's not really very recommended to cut off, especially if you do not have the expertise. That is, for example, us. What we do is once we have developed for your website, we give you 3 months free, where you can consult us, where we can teach you on how to maintain the security. We even do it for you for free. We can train. If you have a trusted person, you can let them bring them to us, and we can train them on how they can secure your website. Or even we can train you yourself, the manager of your business,
to know how to
handle everything. Yes.
Business is quite hard sometimes. You know, when we tell people here on TV that you have to adopt to e-commerce, stepping into digital spaces, it comes with a lot mainly. And what does it actually mean? First of all, when we say website developing, it means you need to get a developer who's going to help you out. We already have some who are already having expertise with that. But I want to understand, imagine someone is having some expertise with web developing.
Yes.
Do they still need someone to actually help them monitor?
If you trust yourself and you believe you can deliver according to the way you want it, and you can secure it, and you may not need any other kind of extra help, then it's fine. You can go ahead and manage your...
Because you see, even with our social media platforms, you may open it yourself and someone hacks it.
True.
Hacks in it, and even if it's you who has been monitoring, every morning you log in, you log out.
Yeah, that's because the person will not have taken the measures of security. So sometimes you can log in, like on a social media platform, you can log into a certain computer, and then you leave without logging out.
Then somebody
comes and finds it. And sometimes these browsers save your password. So if somebody has access to that browser, they can check where they can find those passwords, and that can be
then it becomes their own password.
It will become theirs.
Because that is one of the most scary part. We are looking at the internet security state of businesses in Uganda as a way of seeing that with the coming few years, we want to enable business owners, and we're encouraging business owners to tap into the available digital spaces to utilize e-commerce. Reason being, we are now in times where people are actually cutting off employees. People are actually cutting off employees, and in this particular way, these employees also are carrying out with setting up their own businesses. But meaning, you need to actually be versatile in a way that once you're not going to avail yourself at work, or let me say you don't have a place of work, you can still sit at the comfort of your home and try to break out and make something, actually to try to make up something. But when making up something, let me say opening up a platform for your marketing with the online platforms, the legitimate way, like Mr. Alyao Emmanuel has actually said, is to see that you develop a website.
Definitely.
By the way, one thing I did ask was, how do you implement the firewall? Because you were saying you set up this firewall. First take me through that exercise before we actually break off.
Well, implementing the firewall, there are certain tools out there on the internet which have already developed procedures on how these firewalls can be implemented.
Okay.
So you have to get into a credible source. Let's say, like I talked of the registrars. Most of these registrars know how to, they have those ready-made firewalls that you can actually implement. Now, it just takes an experienced programmer to know how to embed it on the code and also to know how to apply it on the hosting grounds. That is where you host it, because most times this firewall has to be implemented around the hosting grounds. So you have to log into that hosting ground. It's called a control panel, a cPanel. So once you've logged in, there's a program where there's a plugin that has been implemented on that control panel where you can click, and then you can now pour in this firewall implementation, and there you can successfully make it work for your website.
All right. Yeah. And definitely, if you're just joining us onto the show, right about now we are discussing the incident, we're discussing the state of internet security in regards to the business aspect of it. We're looking into that because the idea of internet is now becoming a reality. Something that started way back as a joke and most people are not interested in it. We have just realized that as the nation is actually moving in step to step with innovations and different technology developments that are coming up, every business has to pick up with the space of that. We're heading into a short break, but when we do return, we're speaking more of how can you fight online fraud in your business. If at all you've developed the website, so if at all you're marketing online and you're carrying out your business ventures with the online platforms, and how best can financial institutions adopt these particular platforms of websites and avoid agent fraud in that particular regard. We continue with more in regards to internet security. Keep it SMB.